We are raising those issues without any fear or favor. We are holding the executive accountable, and very soon we'll be engaged in the site visits, because most of the state institutions, we think they misrepresent the facts when they come to report to the committees about the good things they are doing, because those things remain good in paper, but in practice they are not. So we've listed a number of projects. They said they were successful and all that, and we'll be visiting them with the media to expose that actually the so-called good story is non-existent. It's just an imagination. People are suffering from imagination of success, and that's why it remains a drama instead of a story. And we said they must change their slogan from a good story to tell into a good drama to play, because there's no good things they can talk about. But organizational, we have been asked as well by the National Assembly, which took place last year on the 26th July. At
on my birthday.
Yes. So we've been asked to build an organization, a formidable organization. So we are now building branches. A branch must have 100 members for it to launch, and a region, for it to have regional leadership, it must have launched 70% of municipal wards, so that we have that spread all over the country. A province must have 70% before it can have a provincial conference, audited, verified membership, and then they will elect their members. We know that once we exist in the 70% of the municipal wards in South Africa, we've got sufficient presence, and therefore we are a fully fledged organization which is ready to take over municipalities in 2016.
The portfolio committees, something
Yes.
that you alluded to, these are powerful organs that actually record successes and failures and can actually haul anyone over the coals and get them to act right. Which one portfolio committee would you say is low-hanging fruit? And by the way, we've got Monjino from Motherby Prison. I mean, we're expecting petrol attendants, helpers, and everybody else to be calling. So we'll take those calls in a moment. 086 00 00959. What are your low-hanging fruits as far as the portfolio committees go? I would guess land and broadcasting or communications?
We are in all committees, actually.
Of course.
And I'm in the mineral resources, Andile is in the land.
Yes.
And Mbuisen is in communication. And then Floyd is in the trade and industry, including finance.
Yeah.
And all committees, we are the only organization that has provided an alternative critical voice. We are in justice and in police. So, and we are the only organization that has rejected the budget of this year and gave reasons why. Most of those reasons are based on the NDP. But fundamentally is that the budget continues as business as usual. As if we have not gone beyond 20 years, and therefore we need to speed up change. The same things we're doing for the past 20 years, we still do them the same way. And we're saying we are now beyond 20 years, and we can no longer have an excuse why we have not delivered services. We have to change the way we're doing things. And at the center of that should be the changing of property relations. Because if we don't change the property relations, particularly the land question and the ownership of the mineral and natural resources, we must forget about any possible change that will come. We must tamper with the apartheid and colonial economic structure, which remains intact. It must be replaced with a democratic economic structure, which is a reflection of how our democratic society looks like. The economy of South Africa should look like the Parliament of South Africa. How that Parliament looks is a true reflection of demographics of South Africa. And that's how the economy should look. The economy looks the opposite. The economy is the DA. The DA rules the economy. And white monopoly capital, Bob, is the most dangerous thing, because it doesn't only own the economy, they control organs of the state. They've hijacked the Hawks, they've hijacked the SARS, they've hijacked the judiciary. Anything else that is strategic, they take people who are in charge of those institutions, put them on their payroll. There is, for instance, a company called BAT, a British and American tobacco company.
Yes.
They've got a security company that surveils people who are opposed to them illegally. They can do anything with your phone. They can even instruct police to come and shut you down. If the SARS people pursue them to pay more tax because they are making more money from tobacco, yet they are paying less and they don't do full disclosure, whoever is following them up like that is going to be subjected to either suspension, expulsion, or possible harassment by the Hawks police who are on the payroll of these people. So that's why they say they don't care who rules. Just give them power to control the currency. Then they know they are in charge of we have not elected them, but they run our lives. And that's what we're fighting about. And that's what the ANC should come to accept, that we are not the enemy of the ANC. We are the enemy of white monopoly capital, which is refusing to let go. That's why the Ruperts, they control everything. And they even decide who goes where. Leave the Guptas, man. The Guptas want tenders. The Ruperts want the economy. Tenders are not sustainable. The Ruperts are producing everything else that we use every day, from toothpaste to toothbrush, soap, all those things. They are in charge, and you make them angry, they go to the shelves and withdraw those things in order to punish you. That's the power they have on us. And we are saying, as the EFF, let us challenge the status quo. That's what we're talking about. It's not about President Zuma. It's about changing the colonial and apartheid structure of the economy.
We have Umongino from Ward B.
Yes, Mother B present. If you could slap on your headphones there, please, Julius, and let's hear what Mungino has to say.
Mungino.
Yes. Mungino, please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mungino.
How are you?
Fabulous. How are you?
Fine, man. Actually, first of all, I just want to thank the CIC Commander-in-Chief, because for the first time when I was speaking to him, he said his troops, they attended my problem same time. I want to tell him that we are fully supporting him, because in this department, corruption is rife. We've been reporting corruption. They didn't want to attend it until we spoke to the CIC. The commissioner, he came down to Motap. He came running like a headless chicken.
All right. Mojito, thank you very much. Who's next, Coach?
We have Malihle and Mondio. Good morning, Malihle.
Hi, Kuli.
How are you, Angel? How are you? Good.
I'm okay myself. Relo Chakastak and Julius.
Mr.
Malema, you have been the ANC member. You're once a member, and now you're the leader for the EFF. Comparing both two political parties, where do you see both in the next 20 years?
Okay.
All right. We'll come to that. I'm sure you're noting all the questions there, Julius. Owen and Davidson, your question, please. Everybody's fine, by the way. Your question, please.
Owen?
Owen Manda from Davidson.
Yes.
Good morning, Commander-in-Chief. The caller from Motabi that just called, in fact, he was referring to the groundwork that we did previously when the Commander-in-Chief was on KFM. He did say soldiers on the ground must respond to the plight in Motabi. And I want to say to the Commander-in-Chief, we did act on that as soldiers on the ground. And I want to reassure the Commander-in-Chief that as soldiers on the ground, we will go back to Gauteng legislature. We will push the security guards of the white monopoly capital into out of the power, and will take over as the economic freedom fighters. So we are fully behind the economic freedom fighters. We are ready to take this country to task and make sure that black people enjoy the benefits of its minerals.
Thank you very much, Owen. Davidson, William, Johannesburg CVD. Everybody's fine.
Hi, Bob. How are you, man?
He's fine, Putin.
Man, I'm all right. And this is the Kuli and Julius.
Yes, it's Kuli and Julius.
Yeah. The problem that I'm facing with Julius Malema is only one. He's got an imagination of success, whereas he's leading the country to Sodom and Gomorrah. He should have stayed with the ANC Youth League and push with whatever he was doing over there.
But William, how do you stay with an organization that doesn't want you? But you said you had one problem. Thank you very much. Who's next? Kuli, everybody's fine, by the way.
Smoos is a Krugersdorp. Guten Morgen. Everybody's fine. What's up?
Hi, how are you, Kuli?
Oh, I'm so okay, Smoo. I'm okay. Juju can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, Kuli, I've got one problem. You know, Julius, I really like to ask him, and please, Julius, please answer me.
Sure.
You promised us that you were going to fight the white monopoly and communists. But now, if you go to Parliament and start fighting about what you are wearing, don't you see that's a strategy? Every time they make legislation, they kick you out because of what you are wearing. Can't you just wear the suit you are wearing now, Julius, and go fight for what you promised us? You promised us that you were going to fight for us, for the white monopoly, for the youth.
All right. Thank you very much, Sbusiso.
Thank you, Sbusiso. John Green Village, good morning.
Good morning. Just a question to Julius.
Yes.
I want to find out whether he did raise the question about the BAT that he just spoke about, British and American Tobacco Company, to the president or the ministers, and what was the response from them. And secondly, I'd like to say congratulations to Julius. I'm one of the people who once said that you will never fight the ANC alone, but if you've got the majority on your side, you'll make it. Thank you.
One more call we'll take from Julius, and then he'll respond to all the other calls. Ali, you are calling from the United Arab Emirates. Please go ahead. Julius is listening.
My question was if they have raised this in Parliament at any time, because we have people that are sitting in a higher position in MPs and they have dual citizenship. This will make people not to be vigilant about the country. We have to look at as the people who love the country has to have a citizenship of the country, and so that we can be vigilant about that.
All right. Thank you very much. Julius, your responses to all these comments, starting off with Motherby. What's happening there? Why the focus there?
Where?
Motherby prison.
No. The caller called when I was here at FM and with you and raised concerns. And I just made a call from your radio station that the ground forces must go and help the situation, because Julius Malema won't be everywhere. And we're happy that the ground forces have responded. That's what they need to do. Every fighter, you don't have to wait for people to call Julius Malema. Wherever you are, if the SGB is abusing the money of the school, you must intervene. If there is lack of water, electricity, and service delivery in general, you must intervene and take up those issues. And we're happy that our fighters on the ground are responsive. And the other issue of imagining success, how are you going to succeed if you don't imagine success? I mean, some questions, I don't know, it looks like they've got sufficient time to play with. We are visualizing the future.
Yeah.
And you can't imagine the future without the EFF. And this answers the question, where will the ANC and the EFF be in the next 20 years? The ANC would have died a natural death, and the EFF will be government, because we are a government in waiting. And it's not me. Liberation movements ordinarily do not live more than 20 years. After 20 years they in power, they become disorganized and they fight amongst themselves. And the ANC, led by Gwede Mantashe, is a very clear example that is going to die a natural death, because all the structures Gwede led, they are dead. The NUM is now undermined by AMCU. The Communist Party, which he led, is a former organization, and then he's doing the same now to the ANC. So it's a very clear indication that the ANC is going to die. I don't know what Sibusiso is talking about when he says you're not fighting for what we send you there to fight for, you're fighting for clothes. Because we're not fighting for clothes in Parliament. The clothes is Gauteng, so he must know the difference.
Okay.
The legislature and Parliament are two different places. The BAT matter, I raised it yesterday in my speech to the president, and unfortunately I couldn't conclude the speech, but I handed over the speech to the people of Parliament, and obviously the president will take up the matter for what we raised that matter with the president. And the dual citizenship is the DA, man. The DA undermines this country because they bring people who've got questionable papers, and they bring people who were born here, and after 3 weeks after birth they left to London, and now they are coming back here to come and lead in Parliament. DA has got such characters there, and I agree with the caller that undermines the sovereignty of our country, and we can easily be infiltrated and be led by the puppets of the imperialist forces through the DA. And those who continue to vote for DA, they must know that they are bringing people outside of this country with dual citizenship who their loyalty has not been tested and their patriotism is not with us. It is with the second countries where they actually owe their loyalty to. So we have no such a problem here. We'll raise this matter, particularly in the Rules Committee. We have no problem with Africans, especially the girl from Swaziland and all those type of things. Look, those are parental problems which can always be resolved. But,
Julius, we have a minute. We have a minute.
But these ones we're messing up.
Yeah.
We have a problem with. Yeah.
We have a minute to wrap this up, and then Kuli Roberts is going to take over. You're white a monopoly capital. It's politics. You will need a constituency, but you will need a lot of capital yourself to fight this sort of thing. Give your voters the confidence that you'll go all the way with this. Well, in a minute.
We were not going to need capital. We need our people. Remember, Bob, we got 1 million plus without a cent. And now we're getting some few cents from Parliament. With that alone, we are going to triple our numbers, and we are patiently going to be fighting a capital, because those people must share the wealth of this country. They are engaged in transfer pricing, they are engaged in profit shifting and all manner of criminal activities, and when you try to expose them, they make you a victim. They have to be fought, because what they transfer to outside this country, it is what our people should be benefiting from. And if that was spent here, we're going to be one of the richest countries with the lower levels of poverty and unemployment in this country.
Right, Kudi's got 6 questions. The first question is...
There were 5.
Well, there were 5. No, man, you are wasting my time. The first question, Julius, is it country or country?
There is no master of pronunciation.
Okay. Second question, you've got a dinner date. There's only 2 plates of food, one for yourself, and the other one you've got to choose between Utabo and Uzuma. Who will you feed?
Tabo.
All right. And then, I'm Ko Kwasatu.
Amku.
All right. What about Kenny Kunene? What do you think he's going to do now? I mean, he was a politician.
I think you must ask him.
All right.
That's unfair to me.
Okay. And then the fourth question, has Floyd lost weight? Because we were worried about him.
Hey, I think he's gaining.
Then the last question, how's your sex life? Because we hear that a lot of men are playing with themselves. How is it?
You're out of order.
So that won't be answered.
Look, Julius, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We hopefully can call on you at any time for comment and the rest of all the stuff. Your final comment on Gaza.
Well, we are with the people of Palestine. We survived through international solidarity. The ambassador of Israel must leave our country, because we can't accommodate murderers. They are slaughtering children and women, and we must never celebrate those type of people. We want a coexistence of Israel and Palestine, but the Israel's attitude is not helpful, and therefore always, when you are a revolutionary, you must always sympathize with the weak, because the Israeli, they are abusing their power and they are bombarding children. The last word, Bob,
yes.
We wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
You are sharing a birthday with a revolutionary movement called the EFF. We have a celebration in Soweto. If you are not scared of the powers that be, you are more than welcome to come and celebrate with us. We'll allocate a special place for you, not because you gave us a slot, but because you are a legend. You are one of the best this country has produced. And such people must be celebrated, because you continue to be a positive inspiration to young people. And we will celebrate you ourselves as people who know where you come from. Others have written you off at some point.
Yes.
And you came back a strong man. Those are the things that continue to inspire some of us. And when we look at you, we say we can also make it.
Fantastic. Julius, thank you very much for being with us, and thank you very much for taking care of Lerato, by the way. She's a fantastic
she looks
girl.
hot.
And she deserves all and love.
Am I not invited to the party then?
Yeah, you are. Everybody, Togoza Park, 3 o'clock.
It's everybody.
Saturday, but you are going to have a VIP tag there and be taken care of.
And maybe you can bring Uncle Gweezy.
And there will be a lot of hangs there, fighter hangs, who can take care of you there.
Fighter hangs!
Following 180 with Bob is encouraged on Twitter. Stay tuned to Kaya FM for more.